So, Alan, the emotional euphoria, I'm sure it's probably slightly wearing off by now as you come back into Red Bull focus ahead of this week. But just summarise the weekend for us and talk about Saturday.
Just an amazing occasion, really. I think I've been lucky enough to be involved in a couple of finals myself. But yeah, it meant so much to the boys. They've worked incredibly hard, as everyone does in the county game. But you know, it felt like we'd played such good cricket throughout the group phases, and then in the semi-final that, you know, just a really great day for everyone to be involved. So good to see everyone there's so many people from the club there, so many supporters there, and yeah, all the players were there, and just really enjoyed it, soaked it in for the occasion it was, and then obviously the result is the icing on the cake.
How important is it in those moments to try and bottle that feeling? It's difficult to do. A lot of players have said that it's difficult to describe the emotions at the time, but you can, as a player yourself, those moments must be the ones you want to hang on to for a long, long time.
You try to, yeah, but then I look back at the footage that you guys showed, and yeah, the guys won't remember that because they were jumping up and down, working out if it was a 4 or a 6 or 2. But yeah, hopefully they will, and they'll remember. We talk about it a lot. It's the game of cricket it's about how it makes you feel and the people that you're with, and so hopefully, you know, that feeling will really stick with them, and they'll talk about it, you know, for a long period of time. And you know, those sort of moments for these guys, they won't forget those.
You talk a lot about the playing group and everyone else involved. You give yourself very little credit for the job you've done, but that must be a real high point from your time as a member of staff.
Yeah, of course. I was really lucky to be part of the 2018 support staff when we won the T20. And you take a lot of pride in that because, you know, we're here to help facilitate the players and support them as much as possible. You try and guide them. It's like herding cats at times, but you know, it's just a real pleasure to be part of. You know, I have a huge soft spot for this club, so I'm very biased in terms of that. But it's a real honour to be able to you know, be part of it and be a guardian for a little while. But the players are the ones who, you know, should take all the credit. We have an amazing support staff. We work really hard for each other. We have to be quite creative at times, but they all muck in and they look after the players incredibly well. And we always get that love back from the players.
The final itself took a far from straightforward course throughout the day, with the rain interruptions, with the nature of the game. It's kind of symptomatic of the journey this club's been on over the last couple of years, if not a bit longer slightly, some may say. How was it for you watching it from the sideline, trying to keep an eye and cast an eye over things, whilst keeping a calm head as well?
I don't know if I kept a calm head. I just stayed out of the way or did a lot of laps when we were in the field. Yeah, kind of difficult. I think a lot of the boys were looking at the weather apps throughout the week. It looked terrible for quite a while that Saturday, and then as we got closer to it, you know, it felt like it was probably we get a lot of cricket in. We didn't quite know how much, and it would be broken up a lot. So we talked a little bit about that and just staying nice and present and not worrying too much about it. And then as a leadership group, we spent far too long on Friday night talking about the permutations and what that might look like, what the side might look like if it was a 50 over game, what it might look like if it was a 30 over or a 20 over game. But all the time thinking that whatever side we pick, we back them. And again, the fact that you talk about it, we've been through quite a bit. So a little rain break here or there isn't going to, you know, dampen too many spirits, or in fact the focus from the players. And I thought they held themselves together really well, and that can be really difficult. You know, once you get up and running, there's a lot of nerves, and then having been part of it before, once you get up and running, the nerves sort of go, and then if you stop again and you don't quite know if you're going back on, that could become really difficult. And I think full credit to the players and to Hampshire. Really, I think the game of cricket was fantastic. It was a really good spectacle, even though, you know, like you say, we were on and off quite a bit. You know, it was a really good game of cricket, high quality, and obviously a really tense finish.
Talk us through the moments after. Henry Cullen puts that ball, hooks onto the boundary. Kyle Albert falls back over the boundary rope. There's uncertainty, like you said. Have you won? Is the game still there to be won? Talk us through the moments after when it was confirmed, the umpire signalled 4. Just your reaction, your emotions, your feelings. What happened in the aftermath, if you can remember, in amongst all the chaos?
I very clearly remember that you were all out on the balcony watching it. Henry plays that shot. There's a lot of confusion about what's going on, a lot of chat, and I ran straight back into the change rooms because we've got a couple of screens there, so I'm looking at that, trying to find out what's going on. I'm the only one in the changing room, I think. And then obviously it gets called, and then I just watch all the players are going absolutely berserk, which is fantastic, and sort of have no one to sort of hug or jump up and down with. So I just sort of stood there, and it was just a real, you think about it a lot, certainly I do as a head coach, about the aftermath of every game that we play, and the feedback that you give the players and how you try and make them feel, and the conversations you have with them. And certainly in the lead up to the game, I thought about what I might say if we win, and I thought about what I might say if we lose, and then just that immense sense of pride and just watching them celebrate and all the hard work you put in, everything that they go through, all the emotions that they go through. Just like I say, immense feeling of pride. And then I think either Carrie Lloyd or Kadir Ali, possibly both, came in at some stage, and then that was really, really special. I mean, like I said, the support staff here, the players get a lot of conversations about them, and quite rightly, but the support staff certainly a huge part of it. So yeah, the players slowly filtered in, and then it was just amazing to go down. Then the bit that I remember more than ever is going down and being back on the pitch and being able to share that moment with supporters, Paul and Lisa Baker and family, and that for me is a huge part of it.
The photos will encapsulate the moment, but the memories will stay for a lifetime. To be able to turn around to the supporters who have been there through thick and thin, Paul and Lisa, of course, an emotionally euphoric moment there. How was that for you to take a step back and maybe look back on it now on reflection? That must be something kind of indescribable in a way.
Yeah, I get goosebumps and do well to not cry, which is really bad. But yeah, it's amazing. You know, we all, you know, a lot of the players would have had family there who go through a hell of a lot during the season. They don't see us. We are potentially not great company when we are around them. So to see them to celebrate with us, the supporters, like I say, I'm very biased here, but the support we always get is amazing. You know, I remember Rob Jones coming here, and I think early on he didn't get many runs and walked off, and he's just like, they've just clapped me for getting 7 at Lancs. I would have got booed, and it's unconditional. It feels they're amazing, and for them to celebrate that moment with us and share that moment with us was amazing. And obviously Paul and Lisa were there, which, you know, to have the foundation on the shirt was, you know, it's been talked about a lot, and quite rightly. Josh is a huge part of us still, so to have that and to have Paul and Lisa there was, yeah, just amazing.
And then I guess just to finish, with one game to go here in the season, this trophy hopefully symbolises what many supporters, and I'm sure what you and the players will be hoping, is the start of a new journey, a bit of a kick on to maybe bigger things next year, more silverware. It must be really exciting, a squad with huge potential. To be at the helm must be extremely exciting.
It's always exciting. You know, we'll look back at the campaign throughout, and in the Championship we've been relegated and we've not been good enough in that. But, you know, some of the performances and the way that we've gone about it has been encouraging. We need to continue to build on that. I thought our white ball cricket as we went on was really good. So after the break, when we came back into the T20 Blast, I think we ended up playing 16 games of cricket and winning 12 of those. So that's good. We've got some real nice momentum about that. And it's, like you say, it's always great to have a trophy. It sounds a bit weird, Sam, so you were going to look at me really quizzically here, but it doesn't define our season. It's an amazing recognition that we've played some really good cricket. If we hadn't have won on Saturday, that wouldn't have changed a great deal. You know, we'd have still played some amazing white ball cricket in those last 16 games. But it's amazing for the boys and the club and everyone who supports us to be able to have that recognition that we've done really well. It's an exciting group of players, always is, but we've got some real youngsters coming through, and so a real strong core of players who are developing the whole time, and playing for the club means a lot to them. So that's, you know, the winter months will be long and hard, and we'll be back here in April, and really looking forward to it again.
Well, the feeling's palpable from the players, the staff, yourself and the supporters, so thank you very much for everything, and all the best.
Cheers, Sam, thank you.